Hey everybody, how you doing? Ming Codito, thank you for 37 months. Redalus, thank you for 76 months. Foods, thank you for 73 months. And Ipha, thank you for 55 months. Very much appreciated. Like the shirt? Thank you. Mega Man, baby. I got this one at the same time that I got the Samus one. Me too. Most of my brain is dedicated to just storing Mega Man music needlessly. Particularly Mega Man 2. You'll have to pardon my jank-ass setup. I've suspended a light bulb over my
he has a flat brain.
Working area here. Cancel. Thank you for 85 months. Appreciate it, dude. No, I haven't retrobrited anything. Nah, I may attempt some of that stuff in the future, but I have not done that yet, no. Yeah. Pretty far from LTT. About as far as you can get. I think farther than even their earliest videos. Or it might be in that territory. I have a webcam mounted sideways off of the top pillar of my my modern consoles tower with a basically a bulb on the end of a wire strung over it. It's like a New York apartment. Oh, an overhead cam, you say? Is that what we need? That was the idea. Using the old face cam, the old camcorder. It's not super sharp, but it's enough to see. It super isn't. Yeah, so here's what's going to be happening. We've got a few mods to do here. One thing is, this battery is coming out. It's soldered in, and it could die. And if it dies or blows up, it would leak on the board and do damage. So we're going to be just clipping it out, and I'm not going to be replacing it for now. But basically that is the Pram battery. And it governs just remembering a few settings, like mouse, date, and time. So it's not really the most important thing. Eventually, I would like to put a carriage in there. Yeah, it's similar to CMOS, yeah. I'd like to put a battery carriage in there to take care of that. What is this tweet? But it would require some soldering, and so I'm going to hold off on that until the future. That is this battery. That's the exact same brand. You can probably read it. It says Varda right there. Excellent. Thank you for that. Right? Who knew a Macintosh had a Pram inside of it? So that's one thing. We'll be doing that. We're also going to be upgrading the RAM. So this Macintosh SE came with 1 megabyte of RAM installed on 4 sticks. What I have here is 4 megabytes of RAM on 4 sticks, so 1 megabyte each, which is the maximum that an SE can take. I don't know if there are mods for it to take more. I didn't come across any if they exist, but they might. I learned like 2 things, and then I was like, no problem, here's my money. I don't need to know anything else. So we'll be installing these. And installing these is going to require another small mod. Because this particular board, to install more RAM, instead of jumpers, which later Macs have, this actually has a resistor that tells it how much RAM you have installed. So currently it is configured for 1 megabyte of RAM. So I'm going to have to snip a resistor, and then basically it's telling it that it has 4 megabytes of RAM. And if this RAM doesn't work, then that sucks, because I will have snipped the resistor, and I think we'll be shit out of luck until I solder it back or get RAM that works. But I don't really see a way around that. So, just saying, that could end this journey very quickly. I do, and I could, if that happens, hypothetically, I could go grab the soldering iron and fix it, and we'll put the 1 megabyte back in. We could do that, if it comes to that. Additionally, one of the problems we had when we were playing with the Macintosh before was that the SCSI drive unfortunately did not work. And this is that. This big beast. It's so thick and so heavy. Unfortunately, it just would not read. It was alive, but the platters are probably stuck together or something like that. And so it just doesn't work. And we couldn't install anything, and we only had a megabyte of RAM, so we just really couldn't do much. That's where this comes in. This is a Zulu SCSI. This is a SCSI emulator device. It can emulate up to 7 SCSI devices at once. And it tricks the computer into thinking that this SD card here is a SCSI device. And right now I have one blank image. I have prepared this ahead of time. It's not super exciting stuff. You didn't really miss much. I upgraded the firmware to the latest release, and I put a single blank disk image on the SD card. 2 gigabytes. Should be enough for everything we want to do tonight. So this is basically ready to go. We just have to plug it in. It'll get power over SCSI here. So we don't have to have the USB plugged in or anything like that. And this is just going to sit right on top of the floppy drive where the SCSI hard drive used to be. Yeah, it can do floppy emulation. It can emulate a variety of SCSI devices. It can also do it can emulate a CD-ROM. Some, I don't know if this one can, but some SCSI emulators, like raw SCSI with a Raspberry Pi, people have been able to emulate SCSI video cards and get video out from Macintosh SE30 and actually convert it to HDMI. So it's pretty wild what you can do. We're not going to be doing that. I don't think the SE can do. I don't think it's capable of that, unfortunately. At least not without somebody doing a lot more research and possibly writing some new drivers or software. The hard drive carriage there has a little sticker on it that says 21st of February 1988. Another thing that I did in the meantime, since the last time we played with the Macintosh on stream, was I cleaned everything. Not super crazy. Just went in with some air, kind of wiped off dust here and there, cleared out. There were some bug homes, you know. So just not a super cleaning, basically surface level, but it's ready for the future. Essentially, we're going to kind of get it up to speed a little bit so we can play with it. And then down the road, I think I'm going to go further with it. I'm going to try to retrobrite the case, which is going to mean taking the analog board out and the CRT out and everything. Taking everything apart. Retrobrite the outside. Maybe give the logic board a bath. I don't know about that one. I've never done it, but I've seen lots of people who do like restorative work on old boards like this do that. I don't know if we'll see. It scares me a little. Another thing that scares me a little is recapping the analog board. But it would probably be good to do because these capacitors are almost 40 years old. Well, you say that, Cancel, and that's how I feel about it, but like everybody does this. So I really don't. I would do a lot of research. And then once I've been convinced that it's fine, I probably still wouldn't do it. This is how I am. I'll talk about it, and then I'll still be too scared. So I don't think you have to worry too much. The other things, though, I would be much more interested in doing. But yeah, so that's the plan. We're going to do these things, and then we're going to hook it all back up. We're going to pray that the RAM works, and then if everything works, we're going to install the operating system, and then we're going to go through those games that I had again and see how it goes. So let's get started. I think I'm going to start with just removing the battery because that's probably the easiest thing we can do right off the gate. Good to go. Easy peasy. Baby's first mod. Literally the first time I've ever done anything like that. It's extremely simple, but it does feel nice to do something simple like that is very important for keeping the board safe. In case you're interested to see them, these are what the original RAM sticks looked like. It's probably wildly out of focus. They have these huge, giant chips on them. Look how tall those chips are. But yet, the stick itself overall is teeny weeny. It's itsy bitsy. Alright. So we've done that. The next thing we're going to do is clip that resistor to tell the board that we're going to put in 4 megabytes of RAM. And we'll see how that goes. Like I said, if this RAM doesn't work, we're kind of fucked. So we'll see. So essentially, right there. It's resistor R35, and what I'm going to do is clip one end of it and then just kind of bend it out of the way slightly. And that's it. That's all we got to do. So I'm going to do that. That's it. No resistance. Not that kind of resistance. I feel like I built up a lot of drama to all these changes we were going to do, and then it's really seriously just like clip, clip, and then we put some RAM in, and then we connect some cables. That's all that's really happening here. I suppose there is a little bit of danger coming up because the Macintosh, this particular model, has these horrific plastic clips. And they are, I guess, known for breaking. Very easy to break. And then the RAM won't stay in place. So I have been the gentlest guy getting the RAM out. I'm going to be very careful putting the RAM in. And also, the RAM leans back. So I have to put the ones that are closest to the camera in first, and then the ones further back. So I'm going to get to it. Oh, well, I mean, I'm sure it's brittler now than it used to be. But as I understand it, let's be real, these clips sucked from the moment that they came out of Apple. Just so you know. One down. Don't ram in the RAM? By the way, the scarier part with getting these with these clips is getting the RAM out than getting it in. When you're putting the RAM in, that process kind of is inherently more gentle because the RAM itself is kind of pushing the clips out of the way. But when you're taking the RAM out, you have to push the clips out of the way first, and that's where the real trouble is. And the technique I figured out is that I've got this guy. But you can kind of wedge something like this in there next to the RAM and just keep steady pressure and just kind of tilt the clip away. I mean, that was successful for me, but maybe I was just lucky. Hey, another one down. Maybe it's worse than I was just saying. I didn't want to put the level of force that the clips were forcing me to put on it. Another one done. All right, they're all in there. And the resistor is very far from the RAM. So even though I've bent it up a little bit, there's no danger of it touching. You can kind of see it there. The lighting isn't cooperating. Yeah, okay, so we got 4 megabytes in there now. Each stick is 1 megabyte. With the RAM clipped, that's the way Macintosh should see it as well. Battery's out, and there's nothing else for us to do to the logic board. We can now start getting the machine assembled again. If I can figure out where to put or move anything, as my setup is a true nightmare here. What better place to put a Macintosh logic board than on an Apple IIe? What's under the IIe? There's a that's old media holders. Somebody sent me a while back. I think. I'm not sure if somebody sent me that or if that came with the giant haul of PC stuff that Nakomi got. Might have been that. I don't know. But yeah, it's floppy trays, yeah. Don't copy that particular floppy. Oh, let's do this. Okay. So logic board's going to go right down in here on the bottom. It's a real bitch to get this thing in there. So the way it works is that one side of the logic board has like these like puzzle piece cuts, and the bottom matches that. And there's literally board thickness sort of rails on both sides. It's very unpleasant. It's not gonna work. Oh, it also has these nubs along the rail tracks to keep it from moving forward and backward once it's in there. But the problem with that design is that if you are not careful, you can seriously wedge this board in such a way that you just can't ever move it again. So, as simple as this looks like it probably should be, it ain't. Oh, all right. I wanted to try to get the speaker cable hooked up before we got to this point, but the speaker cable, the speaker's all the way in the front of the case, and the speaker wire is like this long. It's like just long enough to reach its pins. I'm not sure I'm capable of actually connecting it. Oh, all right, different approach. Please come out. This sucks. This sucks so much. I hate it. I don't know. I don't know how they did it. There's not a... So there's an access hole where you connect the power and video cable, but the access hole doesn't reach over far enough to connect the speaker cable. Like, there's not enough of a hole there. No, it's not being blocked by the drive cage. This is the chassis. This doesn't come apart. Yeah, that thing I was trying to do earlier where I wanted to use the jigsaw puzzle, I think that's how. The problem is I had to slide it down from the top. Like, if you were able to get it in there with the jigsaw puzzle approach, then you'd be able to connect the speaker wire ahead of time, and then you just push the logic board in. Because you don't have a length problem in that case. I mean, I could take the logic board back out and see if I just was being too timid. Look at this little fuck. Do you see the red? The red next to the power connector? So basically it's like under this. It's like under right here. I can't get my finger under there. Go. I was being too timid before. You were right, Grid. I just needed to give a little push on that far side. So I think that the two sides were... One of the sides was just in too much. But yeah, basically you can put it in like a door hinge. And that was successful this time. Speaker cable is connected now. Down along here is the sort of jigsaw piece.
He has a flat brain.
Quaxum, thank you for 70 months. All right, so now we reconnect the power / video, the floppy, which is right here, and then I'm going to mount the this on top of the floppy and connect the SCSI cable. And then we'll see if we were successful. Actually, I'm not going to connect this first. For a second, I was. Change my mind. Need some light in there because I can't see which way the SCSI is keyed. All right, good to go there. I think I've done this in a pain in the ass way. Yeah, sorry, you're gonna get just the back of my head sometimes. Turn it a bit more. But it's gonna be inevitable. Alright. We don't have much weight, so I'm just not going to bother with the other screw. Just to save a tiny bit of effort. We are assembled. That was highly annoying. I just know that I'm going to pay the price for putting this all back together. I'm going to be punished by it just not working. And I'm going to have to take it all back apart. That's what's going to happen. Just know that I'm aware of that. Ah, shit. I didn't put the shield back on. I forgot about the shield. The issue. There we go. Be this long to get down inside the fucking handle. Okay. It's a T15. I think it's 6-pointed. Yeah. I don't really have a great way of showing you. Won't focus on it. And I'm tiny over here. All right, here we go. This is looking pretty normal. Okay. This is a good sign. It's asking for a disk. Except for one thing I'm noticing is the floppy disk drive doesn't seem to be aligned quite correctly. Just give it a jiggle, huh? I think as I predicted, I'm gonna have to open it up. I'm afraid to put a disc in there because it's definitely gonna get stuck. This model came with 1 megabyte. I've just installed 4 megabytes. Damn it. I'm really annoyed about the floppy. Not to mention now we've just put charge back and everything. Didn't want to come out. I don't know why. You basically don't want to touch any of that. Which makes this hard. For this occasion of this, these. Oh, these are like double. All my confidence in being able to do anything about this has evaporated. Well, so I was going to use these alligator clips, and then there's a ground bolt, like right here in the corner. So you clip to the ground bolt, and you clip to the screwdriver, and then you slide the screwdriver under the anode cap. What do you mean? Oh, for grounding? I believe almost everybody says don't do that. That you should never have these open and working on them when they're plugged into main. The thinking being, I mean, based off of what I've read, you can get a good shock from the CRT, but if you have it plugged in and something goes wrong, you're going to get a bigger shock from the power stations than the CRT, you know? Well, I'm just going to look around in here with my eyeballs, at least. Let's see if I can spot the problem. I think I know what the problem is, and it's very annoying. No, it's so when I took the hard drive out originally,
He has a flat brain.
I took out the entire carriage that holds the floppy and the hard drive. And I think when I put it back, basically it has these front tabs that go in to the they go into the chassis. And I think it's propped up on those right now. I don't think they went into the slots that they were supposed to go in. And I'm not sure that that's fixable without, like, essentially major surgery. And now I really wish I would have checked that before I put everything back together. Because unfortunately, as I said before, this part of the chassis, like here, that goes underneath of this, that's all of a piece. That does not come off. On later models, like the Macintosh SE30, that bracket does come off. So it may mean having to take the logic board out again to access that part. Because the screws for this, for the floppy drive, they're on the bottom. I'm kind of an expert now at putting it back together, other than that part. But I feel like I could do it relatively quickly, but now my concern is I won't really know that the CRT is discharged. I also don't know if I have any electrical tape. I believe that it sufficiently discharged itself when it was off for a while. Well, with the sliding the screwdriver under the anode cap thing I was talking about. Either that or being really careful and just don't touch the CRT. My understanding is with the Macintosh, it's got bleeder resistors and whatnots. I guess it would. I don't know if that's scientific enough for anybody here. Yeah, put your brain as close as possible to the CRT, just to test. Technically, I have the tools to discharge it. Sort of. I have this. I have this. Don't really need red and black. Tiny jumper cables for a tiny car. Basically, you do this. And then you connect this to the ground on the chassis. The ground bolt. These aren't exactly grippy enough for my taste, though, so I'd also want to have electrical tape and basically very much secure it to the screwdriver. Yeah, I would keep one of my hands behind my back, and then you slide the end of the flathead underneath of the anode cap or whatever, which is that big suction cup looking thing on the side of the CRT. And then if there's any charge, you should hear a little spark. It basically just has these prongs that go down. Well, the tape would be to make sure that it stays connected so that when I'm going to like try to get under the anode cap that it doesn't do this. Oh, you fucker. It doesn't do this. Fact is, I've seen it done many times. I haven't done it myself. And it is a little bit spooky. Teensy bit spooky. Yes. Use both clips. There's room for that on the screwdriver, but not so much on the ground bolt, which is quite small. Chat is so divided on this. Don't die. Let him die. Oh no. How horrible. Yes. Well, everything inside me is like, I've been anticipating this all day. And for this to be how it ends is hard to deal with with these pictures. Yeah. That's what I was describing to Gnosis. Although this seems to make the mistake of incorrect grounding. Oh, were you referring to the article? But yeah, that's the hinge-like sort of action I was talking about with the logic board. You put one end in the non-jigsaw, you put the straight end in, and then you can rotate it like a hinge. And then the jigsaw part goes past the teeth, and then you can slide it down or up or whatever you need. It's nice, actually. It's funny because I had watched other people do this, and clearly, I think noobs like myself don't initially notice that and try to do what I was initially trying to do. Because I tried to do the hinge thing at first, because obviously that's seemed to me like, okay, this is how they meant for it to be done. And the speaker wire is not long enough to do it the other way. But it didn't work initially, so I tried to do it the dumb way. I actually saw somebody do it the dumb way and succeed. So there's that. Just trying to think if I could MacGyver my way in there. Because, I mean, I just did it without touching the CRT at all. I was being careful about the CRT, even though it sat off for days. Anyway. You know, I have a perfect score of not touching the CRT. Tenosis had found an article about it that talks about the details the other day. I don't really know what it goes to, Grid. From what I'm looking at, the CRT has a sort of a... I don't know what type of metal it is, but there's a sort of metal frame that you wouldn't see. It's on the inside of the plastic chassis. And it looks like it's just screwed into the plastic. And then the one that's the ground bolt has a ground that is screwed down, you know, through that into the plastic chassis, which isn't connecting to metal. And there isn't enough of that. I don't think there's enough of that exposed to clip to, because it's not like the rest of the chassis. It's like a special metal frame that's just in front of the CRT with tabs at each corner that the screws go through. Countdown until Tenosis says, but actually, it's the amperage. So the trouble is having to disconnect. Mainly, the biggest trouble is having to disconnect the damn power cable, because the power cable has a clip. And for anybody who's built a computer, that's one thing that hasn't changed in 40 years. The clip. It's as nightmarish on this as it is on your own motherboard or any other fucker. That plastic clip that hurts your fingers, because the clearance of it is like molecular. Unfortunately, I just don't think we have any way around it, Tenosis. It sucks to say. So it can fry itself, short itself out. Then it'll be perfectly safe. At least we know that I didn't kill it. We got it to start up and ask for a disc. But we don't know. We don't know if the Zulu Scuzzy works. So I think the RAM was probably good, which is good to know. I think it wouldn't have even gotten to the disk bit. I think it would have, if I remember what I read, if there was a RAM problem, it would have shown the sad Mac face. Yeah, I'm very sure why the floppy didn't line up. just ground it, dude. Just put it on the ground, dude. Yeah, sad Mac face. So that was the way the Macintosh worked. It had a little happy Mac face and a little sad Mac face. And then it has the little disk icon. So if there's nothing, it doesn't find anything to boot from, it shows the disk icon. If it does find something to boot from, you get the happy face and then it boots. And if there's any error where it can't boot and it doesn't feel like it can ask for a disk, you get the little sad Mac face. And that means something's way wrong. I'm going to take the shield off just so I can look a little bit better. Everything except for the CRT is safe to touch. Should be. Just curious if I can get access to those screws without disconnecting everything, you know? There's not a lot of clearance. But I just need to access those screws. Kind of rekajigger the floppy holder so that the tabs are in place and then screw it back in. Yeah. Well, the SCSI cable would have to come out. Yeah, it was just discharged with time. But I didn't confirm that it was discharged before I started working on it tonight, to be fair. Because I'm a simpleton. Yeah, I should have. No, I can connect it, cancel. I'm just a coward. I'm just being a coward. All I have to do is connect this. I have everything I need to do the job here. So this like this. And then that bolt right there. Dang. That's wild. That's wild, Seb. All right, all right. I didn't have anything else planned for tonight. This was my whole game plan. I'm very disappointed right now. Yeah, the idea is you connect those cables, you give a path for the charge to discharge to something that's not you. So IPA's right there. That's the whole thing with the connecting the cable to the screwdriver and then the bolt and then sticking it under the anode cap, is that it'll jump through the screwdriver to the wire to the bolt. So you're not grounding it. Although I guess it's similar in the sense that you're giving the electricity somewhere to go that isn't yourself, which is what ground does. Well, that's the whole thing with putting your one arm behind your back and you just put the screwdriver underneath and you're telling the electricity where to go. That's the idea. We're not trying to discharge a capacitor, we're trying to discharge the CRT. An electric traffic cop, yeah. Yeah, that's right. Get some rest, Sep. Good to see you. Let me look at this, see what this is all about. With a disclaimer like that, I gotta look at it. Oh, it's a whole ass video. Never mind. Oh, I can turn the volume off.
Hi there, my name's Bruce Rain from Breakers Creations.
I think I've seen this guy before, but this isn't the video in particular that I had seen. Oh, he's doing a whole thing. Yeah, he electrical taped it on there. He also has bigger alligator clips. Mine are puny. I like how he's like trying to show you how to discharge it safely. And when he's pointing at it, or maybe he already discharged it. Maybe I skipped past that. He was putting his finger like right next to the anode cap. It's like, you gonna discharge it like that, bud? With your naked finger? He like, did I miss the part where he discharged it? Because he's like taking the back off of the CRT there. No, he took, wow, okay. So I guess that part's safe to touch. I mean, that's the part I'd be likeliest to touch. And when he puts the alligator clip on, it's like falling off. What the hell? But he goes for it. Well, his suction cup is clear. That's not fair. Oh, he says don't do what I'm about to do here. Well, so that part of the CRT is extremely fragile. That back bit is the most fragile piece. And so that's the likeliest piece that you could very easily break and then cause an implosion. Which is where the CRT has something like over 10,000 pounds of atmospheric pressure. So if you break that vacuum, if the vacuum escapes, it can have a violent implosion. It sounds wilder than it is. But it definitely destroys the CRT. He said it becomes not a vacuum and won't work. I mean, that's accurate. He didn't say any wrong words. Yeah, you just got to get a vacuum cleaner and clean that vacuum up, dude. Then it'll be right as rain. Maybe that's the key. All this time we could have been repairing CRTs in space.
He has a flat brain.
Fire Chris, thank you for 71 months. I don't even know what would happen if you get electrified in space. Because normally, the thing is, the reason it travels through you is to get to the ground. So, if you were in a weightless environment, I don't know that, I don't know what electricity would do. Would the spacesuit be the ground, I guess? I guess it kind of is. A bird on a power line, yeah, I guess so. Gotcha. Interesting. Electricity do be scary, I have to say. Yeah, they had like a giant electrical reaction, right, when they connected. That stuff's pretty interesting and terrifying. I feel like there was an accident related to that, but I don't recall anything specific. It's just sort of lingering in my mind. I've heard of this before. So the thing with putting your hand behind your back is that it creates a different path through your body, right? Something like that. It's just so you're not touching anything. You have to hover hand yourself. We're gonna trick the electricity, make it think that I only have one arm. Can't get to my other arm if I only have the one. Well, yeah, but my arm is still on the other side of my body, you see. You see what I'm saying? So, like, the path... In my mind, the path is still like that. Even if it's behind my back, it's just right here. Okay, so it's more probably about just making sure that you don't fucking touch anything with that other hand. Like, mindlessly. I getcha. I'm so sad about this. I know I shouldn't be. But it's such a stupid thing to just put the brakes on this. It's such a dumb little thing.
Well, it's the only thing to look out for. The only thing to do is just get those stupid tabs in the holes that they're supposed to be in. I wish they were more easily accessible so we didn't have this trouble. No, I don't. But eventually I'm going to look into retro brighting. It's a whole thing on its own. And I'm going to have to become comfortable with discharging CRTs in the future if I'm going to do that, because you have to take the CRT out to do this. Retro brighting? Is it? Oh. God, this is reminding me of that horrible trend that was going around of doing the electrical patterns on wood, and it's like the people who were making those videos originally were like setting out to kill people, because the way that they were demonstrating to do it would set it up in such a way that if you started to get electrocuted by it, all the safeties were off. Like a breaker wasn't going to blow. It was sort of a self-feeding system that would never end. So like it would just melt you. Like nothing would stop it. Normally when people get electrocuted, something will blow. There would be a breaker or, you know, something. But that shit, there was nothing to stop it, which is horrifying. I think hip-hop meant a few people died from that, not like dismissive, like few people died from that. It's fine. I don't think that's what hip-hop was trying to say. Right. Prequels meme. I'm gonna grab a drink real quick. I'll be right back. I'm back. Huh. Yeah, you wanna get blasted across the room. It has always seemed to me like one of the more horrific ways to go. I've been shocked a couple of times by things, and based off of my limited experience, I have the impression that you have pretty much full awareness of what's happening, which sucks to think about. Yeah, I've been zapped a couple times. I don't, yeah. 120, you can get by. I put my hand on a cow fence one time because nobody told me they were electrified. So it's a good thing those are, you know, real temporary. I was holding like a root beer, and I just grabbed onto the fence. I don't know if I'm remembering it correctly, but I think I recall the soda fizzing over. And then it let me go. But while I was holding on to it, I couldn't do anything. But I was fully fucking aware. Yeah, I have no idea how much power that was that went through me there. Yeah. It was the fact that the pulse let me go was my only saving grace, I think. I was like Timmy from Jurassic Park. Oh, by the by, the Quadra didn't pan out. I felt bad for asking because he told me why, and I remembered that he had already told me that before. But because I'm a fucking freak sicko about this shit, I ended up asking anyway. But it has sentimental value, so he was not going to be letting go of the Quadra. But the Quadra was the Jurassic Park Mac. Actually, the model that he had was not that particular one. It's like a slightly earlier model. I think the ones in Jurassic Park are the Quadra 700. I'd like to get my hand on one of those. Just one hand. One day. I've been wondering if anybody's done, like, if anybody's mocked up the software. Because there's that one website that's basically a total recreation of the software from the movie. But it'd be really cool to actually have very realistic. What the hell is that? Oh, it was my bottle. I was like, are there electrical shocks just happening around me now? That was my bottle. Snapped back out. You're not going to get into wood burning, are you? All of that sounds even worse to Gnosis. Not to mention, I'd have to get right up in there next to the CRT to do that anyway, which I think, like, at that point, I might as well go ahead and try and do the screwdriver thing. Because basically what you're saying to do there would be to, like, make the exact connection that we're talking about not making with a screwdriver that's not connected to, the, you know, like, it's not discharging. You know what I'm saying? Metal to metal connection in one spot there. I guess that's technically what it is when you connect the alligator clips as well. It's not really different, is it? I see. I see what you're saying. Well, let's not argue about it. I'm gonna let it be. There's no point in forcing it at this point. Downer though it is. And I don't want people arguing about it, because this is one of those things where people have been arguing about this shit online since there's been online. One of those things people just have real strong opinions about. Yeah, I'll put the case back over it. Really, Walker? That's wild. Turned out mine doesn't have any of those signatures. I looked around. I don't know if they're hidden somewhere, but I would have expected it would have just been on like the inside of the case somewhere or something like that, but no signatures on mine. They must not have signed every single one. Sign the inside of it and then like put it back out for sale. People think I was one of the Apple engineers. Who's this guy? Technically true. Funny thing is, I've never been a retro YouTuber at any point. The closest I ever did to putting any retro related stuff on YouTube was when I got that Neo Geo and Secret Santa. When I killed Secret Santa. Yeah, I don't have them then. Yeah, it's just blank, sadly. Nothing there. Someone wrote possibly 04, but that was probably just a tester. To sign it. Hello, sickos. When was the Plus chronologically? I don't remember. I know there was the M0001 is the first one. I think the Plus was actually next. Oh, there was the 512. What about the what's it called? Is it FDHD? Oh, that would be after the SE, actually. That was between the SE and the SE30. Yep, I blew it. I blew it. We're stuck now because we don't want me to die. Most of us don't want me to die. Some of us. Hey, bud. Why don't you get on out of here, buddy? Yeah. So the thing is that, like, the way that the Macintosh works is that it's in charge of the floppy drive. Otherwise, I would just be like, it's misaligned, but I could put the boot disk in, you know? But the trouble is, if it wants to kick the disk out and it's misaligned, it's going to possibly fuck up the floppy drive, which is currently working, and I'd like to not fuck it up. So I can't even get around it that way. I have to just either get up the gumption to try to discharge the CRT or wait for many days and pretend like it's fine like I did at the beginning of this evening. I mean, there's no way around it other than for me to discharge it. Modern floppies won't work because modern floppies are different from this floppy. Apple did weird things with their floppy drives at this particular period in time. So this takes 800K disks. Oh, you meant something else altogether. All right. Lecture canceled. Okay, I feel like you said the same thing. Oh, you were just like hypothesizing. I see. Yeah, I don't think they're coming back. I mean, technically they're still around because you could get a USB you can get a USB floppy drive for a 1.44 megabyte for 1.44 megabyte disks. And I mean, that works. Good luck finding blank disks. I don't know where you would get them. Maybe you can still get them. Maybe they're on Amazon. I haven't looked. And then yeah, there were zip drives and jazz drives, which I don't know how big they got. I think they might have got over a gig. I mean, technically we kind of do, don't we? If you think about it. I mean, mechanically very different, but SD cards are like tiny little floppy disks. Kind of. They're just, what are they, NAND? They're like flash memory or whatever. And obviously they hold way, way, way more, but it's basically kind of like the floppy disk just became this big. I don't know if I'd go so far as to call them terrible. Well, that's called an SSD, food. Basically. I'm with you. I think moving parts is a lot more fun. But, the trouble with the zip drives is that they were kind of just... They're just a real mess. Because on the one hand, if you think about the pros, a lot of space. I remember having like a 700 megabyte, a few 700 megabyte zip disks. I had to use them for school, for storing school projects and shit. And it was more convenient than burning disks. You know, it had a file system that you could easily deal with. So in terms of utility and such, it was pretty good. But the trouble was that it was this big proprietary thing. You had to have this standalone drive. And then we're talking, you know, Windows 98, Windows 2000, Windows ME era of like most of us. And it was pretty fucky, and I think the drivers were not the best, and things were pretty slow. And I remember losing files, and like the disk can't be read, and you know, just like fucking lots of those kinds of problems. I think if they didn't have those problems, if that stuff was more smoothed out, that they would have been, we would look back on them more fondly for sure. Because certainly in terms of utility, they had a place at that particular slice of history. Oh yeah. The click, click, click. Yep. Man, I remember. That was the death click. It's funny how stuff used to have more of that back in the day. I'm also reminded of the Death Star. I'm sure a number of you here probably remember that. That was a fun time. Yeah, the Death Star. There was a series of hard drives called Desk Star. But actually, I don't know if that was the name of the whole company. I don't know. But they basically destroyed themselves by putting out a completely fucking failed run of drives that just became widely known as the Death Star, because basically what those drives did was just die. And I think they got sucked up by Seagate or something. Yeah. Oh, yeah, IBM. That's right. Sorry, this shit's so fucking far in the past, I don't remember the details anymore. So that, yeah, they probably wouldn't have got bought, unless maybe IBM might have just had to sell off the division or something. Maybe that's what happened. Yeah, I mean, IBM obviously still exists, but like they could have been like, you know what? Someone take this off our hands. Yeah. Zip drives were like fat floppies. They do. I just saw that today. It's funny you say that, because we were having some thunderstorms, and I went to the Weather Channel and I saw it said the IBM Weather Channel or something. I'm like, what? When the fuck did this happen? So it's wild that you bring that up. Odd coincidence. I'm gonna screw that together so I can at least move it. Huh. So we both basically discovered that tonight because of the same storm, probably. Yeah, smartphones kind of killed everything. A lot of things. Like, it's wild to think how, if you think about print, the whole print industry was so important and so huge, right? That was how the fuck anybody knew anything. TV didn't even kill the print industry, but computers sure as fuck did. And smartphones and social media are really putting the final nails in the coffin. I mean, that shit's kind of coming for even television media. News is all fucked up now, and I think it's because a lot to do with the fact that, you know, the internet just kind of, there's so many other ways to get information. So the news in general is kind of like spiraling out of control. Well, MapQuest, I think MapQuest just got killed by Google, really. Because they could have been the map on phones, but they just weren't. Like, nobody wanted to work with MapQuest. And as I remember, their map was kind of shit-ass garbage. Well, I mean, really, Kiwi, Facebook's probably the biggest reason for a lot of stuff getting destabilized, because it was such a ubiquitous net cast over so many people, right? So their algorithm, what they chose to show to people or not show to people, had massive influence, and that was happening before all of us were like giving a shit about it, you know, before anybody was really paying attention and blowing the horn or, you know, waving a flag. They were doing that without people really realizing. So hell yeah. Printing out maps. Those were the fucking days. I remember doing that. You'd have like 15 pages stapled together with every single step. That sounds like fucking madness now. Of course, that was better than unfolding a giant tarp-sized map. Do you see this? This little tail-twitching goblin. I can always tell when he's looking to get into trouble because the end of his tail, he has a very Cheshire cat tail, where it's like tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. You see that? You're in for some shit. Well, since we're basically stuck here on this, I'm thinking about poking around at the Apple IIe and talking about that a little bit. Because the Apple IIe is also very fucking cool. I'll be right back. I wanted to sit that somewhere where Pico wasn't going to get at it and do something stupid, knock it down, or who knows what. Oh, something did come in the mail that I wanted to share with you guys. Which, again, is just making me more sad, but I did get a hold of a real inbox copy for the Macintosh SE, because this is just a holy grail for me. So, this was the agenda. This is what I was looking to do tonight. I'm real sad about it. SimCity, the city simulator. The original version. Greetings, SimCity Mayor. Introducing an easier way to run, manage, and expand your city. SimCity for Windows. Wow, what a fuck you to throw this in the Macintosh version of the game. I hope it brings you hours of enjoyable city planning, or destroying. In spite of our relentless testing on every computer we can get our hands on, we may have overlooked a bug or two. If you find a bug in SimCity for Windows, what the fuck? Let us know. If you Mac users find a bug in SimCity for Windows, let us know. Send us a card or a letter describing the problem. Be as specific as possible so we can track it down and squash it. Good lord. Please include your phone number in case we need more info. Fucking Will Wright gonna call your ass to fix a bug. In addition, please tell us about your computer. The make and model, amount of RAM, DOS version, Windows setup, etc. Send it to Maxis, 2 Theater Square, Suite 230, Orinda, California, 94563. Attention! Yuck! Bugs in the Windows. Or call 510-254-9700. Once we have the bug licked and our teeth brushed, we'll send you the new version of SimCity for Windows. Wow, man. I wonder if anybody's got those. Someone must have done this. Right? So they would have got like bug fix discs from Maxis. If you are the first one to report a real, repeatable bug that is our fault, not just an incompatibility with a memory resident program, we'll send you a prize. We're talking bugs now, not wish lists of features and functions. This sounds like forum rules. I mean, this is low-tech forum, basically. And improvements to add to the program. What the heck? Send us your wish lists too. Oh, well, Jesus Christ, Max. Just make up your fucking mind. If you can think of a way to make this product better in any way, send it in a card or letter to the above address. Attention, Sim suggestions. If your suggestion is good enough, we may just send you another prize. Sincerely, Jeff Braun, President. P.S. Be sure to send in your registration card. It's worth it. Trust me. Can I go back in time? You can't leave me on this fucking cliffhanger, Jeff! What happened? What would you do? Would you send out an assassin? What? I mean, they don't exist anymore. EA bought them and erased them from existence so that I could send a letter there. Be kind of interesting to see what happens, but I'm sure it would just go in the trash. So basically nothing would happen. We could look up that address on Google Maps and see what it looks like is there now. If you want to try, it was 2 Theater Square, Suite 230, Orinda, Orinda, California, 94563. Or MapQuest, sorry. Or on MapQuest. Does that even exist anymore? Can you... That's gone, right? MapQuest? Yeah, I figured... Like, Maxis would have been small time at this point. So they would have had a little baby office. But by the time they were doing... Well, I don't know. Who knows how long they could have been there. But I would imagine that by the time they got to, like, SimCity 3000... Or whenever EA picked them up... They would have been moved out of there. Terrain editor user manual. Ah, the Macintosh version. Excuse me. Oh, little sticker in here. Oh, it's kind of fucked up. SimCity with bonus cities. Supreme. Oh, sorry. SimCity Supreme with bonus cities. And terrain editor. Color and black and white version. It's weird that this is inside. Maybe it was originally on the outside of the box. Sorry, it's shiny. It's hard to show it on camera. Yeah, we got the manual for the Macintosh version. Concept and design, Will Wright. God, it's sad that so many of these like formative game software companies got just eaten and destroyed. It's a real drag. And of course, we have a system reference card. Lovely. Interestingly, no copy protection chart thing. I was under the impression that they had that. Like, you had, back in the day, a lot of copy protection for games like this were done by, oh, holy shit, is Angel Fire still up? Yeah, this I guess, but not much prior. Because this first version of SimCity, and at least a Mac version, it might be 1.4, so this might be earlier than that, but it was just a few versions later that it did have DRM. Maybe it's just not in here. Maybe it does have it and it got lost. But they had one of those things where it was a little card. Like, so the game shows you a pattern, and then you have to reference some card that explains what the pattern means, and then you can choose the right thing, and then you can play the game. But I'm not seeing that. So either this version didn't have that, or that whatever that card was is gone, and I'll have to look it up on the internet, because that shit doesn't really matter now. It was really like just answer table type stuff, so the internet really came along and fucked that up. But they didn't know that that was going to happen. Yeah, it's kind of a CAPTCHA in a way. Oh no. Well, that will happen. Will happen. I did a lot of stupid shit when I was a kid messing around with computers, man. I did all kinds of stupid shit. I keep referencing this one fucking time where me and my friend we had to play Doom 2. So, you know, we got on the family Presario. His family, not mine. Wiped the computer clean. Whatever they had on it, didn't matter. Gone. Finances, gone. Family photos, gone. Probably not a lot of family photos in that time, because I'm talking like 386 or 486 or something like that here, but you know what I mean. So we sat down, because we didn't set out to do that. We set out to just install Doom 2. Okay, so it started off innocently enough, but there wasn't room. And you can't not install Doom 2, so you gotta start getting rid of shit. And it turned out we had to get rid of all the shit. But getting rid of all the shit did let us play Doom 2. All I know is none of those consequences ever landed on me. Things might not have been great for my friend for a little while. I don't even remember. I feel like he would have told me. So that either nothing happened, he didn't tell me, or I didn't give a shit. Which I think is fair, because I got to play Doom 2, right? Oh, I mean, this was pre-Windows. They might have had Windows 3.1. But I mean, we took it down to DOS. We wiped it all the way down to DOS, boy. Sorry, I'm just getting everything out of the way here. Yeah, we were playing with the arrow keys. I don't think it... Did Doom 2 ship with mouse look? I don't really remember. We were probably playing with arrow keys. Right? Pre-Windows. Imagine that. Because, you know, after the GUI interface became ubiquitous, it's like, you forget, how the fuck did you even do anything?
But you basically you would have had like a shell browser. But even if you didn't, more than likely what you would have done is pop disks in and type the necessary command to run the software. And then you did what you needed to do, and then you saved, and then that was that. You know, and then you quit and went back to DOS. So I did dig into the Apple II a little bit more. I discovered some things. It's a very interesting system. And for those of you who haven't been keeping up with my mundane nonsense, I realized, more so than before, I had forgotten this. But this is really like my formative computing experience. And I didn't even realize it. This is like where I learned like sort of beginning programming, and there was a number of games. There was one that I realized, it was a game that I've been trying to remember what the fuck it was for most of my life, and I just remembered the other day. And it was a game for Apple IIe, well, Apple II, called Rocky's Boots, which was about circuit design, which I now have to get my hands on. But this would have been the computer that I first played Oregon Trail on. And it's the system that most people remember Oregon Trail from. Like that particular look with the sort of Atari-like graphics and everything, that was the most well-known version of Oregon Trail, not the one that we played the other day on the Mac. So, yeah. So that has amped up my excitement about messing around with the Apple IIe more as well. And the Apple IIe is really cool because it's super accessible. So this had a joystick and another drive hooked up to it, but you may notice I've only got the one drive hooked up. So I dug into this. Hell yeah, dude. I loved Carmen Sandiego, and I first played it on an Apple IIe. Or possibly an Apple II GS. I'm not sure which one. I definitely had some time with an Apple IIe around then, but I think my schools had the Apple II GS with the color monitors. But, I mean, it was a long time ago. This shit's foggy now. Hell yeah, Choplifter. So anyway, I opened it up, and I figured out, like, what was going on with everything. Because one of the things that was rough was, like, No Nut gave this to us when we were making the journey from Arizona to Ohio. So we stopped in his area, we picked it up, and then we made our way on. And when he gave it to me, what was surprising to me was that there were two drives and a joystick hooked up to it, and they were not disconnectable. So you had to like balance them on top and carry the whole fucking thing around, which made it super fucking heavy. But that's because this stuff is directly fucking connected. So let me just show you. First of all, the Apple IIe is amazingly accessible. You want to see how easy it is to get into the fucking Apple IIe? That's it. No screws. You just pop the back or pop the top off. That's all there is to it. Expansion cards right there. Easy access. So, if you look here, let me zoom that in for you. Actually, let's get back up in the, let's go back to the sky cam. Okay. So this right here is the drive controller card. This is an actual Apple provided card, and it has on it 2 drive ports. So both of your drives are going to connect directly to that, right on this card. This part's a little bit of a bitch, though. And that's why. So the ribbon cable just comes out the back, and it's like clamped down. It doesn't have a port. And that goes for the drive as well. See, it just goes right in the back of it. The joystick was connected directly to the motherboard right down in here. The joystick cable, it doesn't have like a port or an interface on the end of it like we would expect. It just has bare pins. And you have to plug it into a port on the motherboard. It looks like you're plugging in a chip, kind of. Ah, well, no. That's not a sound card. So, do you have any guesses what it is now? Beep, 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 beep. That's what that speaker does. So the telephone line that was coming out the back had to come all the way in here and connect right there. There's 2 telephone ports on the back of that. So I disconnected that as well, so that wasn't hanging out the back anymore. We're probably not going to be using the modem. So this is a Zoom Modem 2E by Zoom Telephonics Incorporated. I know, it's wild, eh? You know what's perhaps even a little bit wilder is this card right here in between. You notice it's another Apple card. Any guesses as to what this one is for? Think of like likely things from the time, right? You would be doing, you would do SCSI, you would do printing. Benjamin's got it. Benjamin nailed it. That is a serial mouse interface. Not PS2, not USB. The box mouse, yeah. I don't have that. But it's a mouse interface. The Apple IIe didn't come with, or the Apple II,
didn't come with mouse out of the box. Needed an expansion card. Yeah, it did. You're just holding on to some polygons. Then, let's see. So, printing is actually here. This card here. So this is driving a parallel port. What do you suppose this one is? To be honest, I think I'll give it to Wizard, because Wizard had already said it earlier. That is a memory expansion card. No, it's not for the keyboard. So keyboard end. That's saying it needs to face this way. But yeah, this is the 80 column card and 64K memory expansion. So this let you have 80 columns of characters horizontally across the screen. I don't remember what the default was. Was it half that? Was it 40 characters? And I think you're still limited to all uppercase. I don't think they got lowercase until... Well, maybe this card enables lowercase as well. I mean, it doesn't say that on the card. But why would it? But yeah, it's basically saying that this is the end that needs to face the keyboard. But yeah, as you can probably tell, I'm really in love with how accessible this computer is. It's so cool. Also, it's not restricted to monochrome. I think. Hold on. Excuse me, bud. Well, I'm not seeing it, but there should be a switch in there somewhere that enables color. You had to switch between whether you're going to be using a color monitor or a monochrome monitor. It has a single RCA video output. That's true, yeah. There was some like blitter fucking gymnastics you could do or something like that. That stuff's pretty well beyond me, of course. I think it's also possible, without unscrewing anything, to take the rest of the chassis off as well. I think there's just some tabs. I don't know where they are, though. I'm not going to attempt it right now. But it's honestly, it's an amazing little computer. I really love it. I wish they still made them like this, really. I gotta clean it up real good. And yeah, it could use a little bit of retro brighting. But it's in real good shape. Honestly, it's like in fantastic shape. I don't think there's any physical damage, just some like mild scuffs, you know, whatever. But
That's in beautiful shape. I'm so surrounded by shit in here. It's insane. I like, there's 3 iMacs on the floor. Why? It's beautiful. Look at it. You guys. Yippee. Yippee. Oh shit, it's wizard piss. I left it in. Beautiful, yeah? Run a little hot. Didn't need to be quite that bright. Yeah, isn't that cool? Pretty wild feature. Yeah, I forgot. I don't think we have the scenario disc. See what we got here. I really need to get Oregon Trail. I don't know the key commands for the Apple II. I know there's a key command to do a system diagnostic, if anybody wouldn't mind looking that up. Like, I gotta believe you don't have to power it down every time you do anything. I guess Woz designed those drives from scratch himself, and they're like amazingly awesome. Oh, really? Thank you, Brett. Maybe not. Did I do it wrong? I have no idea if this is a platinum model. Would it say platinum on it? Yeah, it doesn't have a command key. It's weird, it's not working. Maybe my reset key doesn't work? Oh, there we go. Colonel, okay. Nice. Okay, well, it simply did not care that I put that disc in there. That's weird. Yep, it's an unenhanced model. Although I thought the E stood for enhanced. Oh my god. Well, what's weird is that the drive doesn't seem like it's acknowledging that I'm putting any discs in it. Is that because we ran the diagnostic, I wonder? We know Wizard Piss works. Yeah, it's not, really, I need to know things. There must be some way. Hold on. There's gotta be some way to, like, tell it, I want you to load a disk. Oh no, this manual is crazy. Hey, what are y'all doing in here? Oh, did it? Hold on. I feel like there's got to be some simple explanation of like some controls here, right? Operating system. Right, we don't have DIS. We don't, sorry, DOS. I'm just looking at the manual real quick to try and find out if it's got some basic. Like, if you want to force the computer to check for a disk. The open Apple key can be used to restart the 2E when it has already been powered on. This is accomplished by pressing the open Apple key simultaneously with control reset. Oh. That's what I was looking for. So now we'll get WizPiss. Maybe. That's very sensitive. Okay, nice. So we can start trying to load some other things. Most of these discs I never tried, and I don't know what's on them at all. Huh. Disc initialized by Bob Fessenden on 4th of August, 1983. I don't know any commands. Yeah, I guess it's blank. I only know modern commands. No idea where to go from here. What the manuals say. So that's an AppleSoft Basic prompt. Or maybe it isn't. Or maybe I should only type in all caps. Very useful. Oh, weird. Nope. Didn't like that either. Catalog? Uh-oh. Did they have backspace? Delete's not working the way I expect it to. Huh. How do I run applications? Open? Not direct command. Run? Oh, that's the thing it runs when the disk loads. It just runs hello. File type mismatch. Run hash B. Binary run. It didn't like hash B. I think it's gonna go. In your face, disk rot people. Damn. Sargon 2 for the best in Apple II chess. Oh. I thought it was asking for my name. I don't know. I don't want to play chess like this. Hey, we know how to run shit now, though, so that's good. Let's see what else we got. What's this? This is an unlabeled disk. I'm basically just praying none of these are like Apple II porn. And hoping that one of these is Oregon Trail. File not found. I can't spell. This thing's working like a champ. Daily index. Pronto DOS. Pronto DOS? What? So that's a text file, right? No, I think it's pronto DOS. Like it's pronto. It's speedy. So this would be open. God, what I wouldn't give for tab complete. Now, run. Yeah, I don't know. That one doesn't seem to work. I doubt. Would it be binary run? Let's try it. Nah. Read? Is that a thing? Not a thing. Are you guys just throwing out computer words? Cancel was giving us like actual commands. There's obviously a set of commands. I'm surprised the manual doesn't give you this stuff right up front and center. It goes directly into basic and skips like this sort of shit. It's so programming focused. Oh, load is a thing. Okay. Binary load. Close, delete, rename. Okay, cool. I don't know. Do you think this is worth trying to load? Or should we move on? I'll try load. Ah, shit. I don't know how to backspace with this, so I have to start over every time if I make a typo. No. File type mismatch again. But there was bload, right? I think. I mean, I could try it. Nah, this one's just not going to do anything for us. Okay. See what this is. That's doing some real clickety-clacketing. Ah, okay. So we've hit a bad disk. Oh yeah, there's no history. No siree. Think tank. F boot. B demo. That's doing something. Value range error. And that's using 80 columns there. System reinitialized. System IO error. Press reset. Okay, this one... I mean, it's not, like, broken, but something's clearly not working. We're learning things, though. We're learning. Oh, here's the modem program. Not this. This is something else. I mean, I don't have the modem hooked up to anything, so it's not a big threat of that. It might be, yeah. It might have been expecting some peripheral. Well, that's just going. I don't think this one's working. Yeah. I'm not sure I should take it out. Uh-huh. I don't think that one was gonna read. Ooh, here's an exciting one. I'm lying, by the way. Tax Preparer by Howard Soft. That one really wants you to have another drive with another disk to write tax information onto, which we're not going to do. Oh my goodness. Stock charting and technical analysis. Dow Jones Market Analyzer. Dow Jones. Triple dump. DOS backup. Dow Jones. Don Jones. Don Jones. Dow Jones. Multiplan. Sideways. Huh? What? Ah. It's a bad one. Oh. Like, install to what? This doesn't have a hard drive. Sideways. Copyright 1984. Funk Software. Strike I for installation option. Strike I. I struck it. I don't think it's that. I had caps lock on. Yeah, it's fine. Oh, just needed strike through, right. This is apparently another copy of Think Tank, whatever that was. System date is 21 November 84. Change it? I would need a disk to put in the second drive. Some sort of outline writer, I guess. I'm not sure. Yeah, we're going wild with the 80 columns on this one. Don't know. Maybe it's for like script writing? Or just writing, maybe, of some sort? Living Video Text Incorporated was the makers of the software. Whoa! Beagle Bag by Beagle Bros. It's a whole bunch of games. Hang person. So progressive. Hang person. Yeah, this one run good. Maybe. Seems to be having trouble loading that one. It has stopped trying to read the disk. Oh no. Control C is doing nothing. I think we're dead on this one. Maybe try a different game. Maybe it's just a bad sector. What's sub-search? Oh shit, it's Battleship, dude. Huh. Whoa. Running out of oxygen. Don't really know what's going on. Oh. So I guess you have to hunt around and try to find all the submarines before you run out of fuel, basically. It's real weird. But it's cool. Whoa. Whoa, there's so much more. Oh no. There's one called Naked. I knew you guys were going to zero in on that. Oh no. It can't be bad. How bad could it be? Oh. That didn't work. What? I said syntax error, now cut it out. I crashed it somehow by just trying to do a catalog, and it like showed me a bunch of basic. So I guess it took over catalog. Huh. Any key? I'm so lost as to what to do. Weird. I wonder how you get to... You can't get to these other games that are listed on the disc. They're like hidden secret games. So that means they probably are porn. Imagine being the only streamer on Twitch ever to get fucking banned for Apple IIe pornography. There's music, apparently, that we can't hear. Sweatshirt. Hold on, I'll be right back. I'm back. Well, I mean, we know all that. It was? Oh, it's a prank? That's great. I deeply doubt that I have that, Dollar Cave. I thought it was fucking up. Fun stuff. Oh, this is wild, man. Public domain programs, Disc Volume 1. The American Association of Microcomputer Investors Incorporated presents Public Domain Programs, Disc Volume 1, Apple. I/O error. All right, cool. Oh, this has like a sheet of paper in it. American Association of Microcomputer Investors Incorporated, an independent nonprofit organization. Annuity, banking and finance, bond price and finance, market evaluator pack, mortgage computer. Yuck! Oh, yuck, yuck, yuck. Master type. Well, that's either a text editor or something awful. Ooh. Oh, it's a game. Hey man, you never know what's going to be a game. The Typing Instruction Game by Bruce Zlee. Lightning Software. I like the fancy logo. Nice. So this is going to be like typing of the alive. Are you guys able to see this okay? I'm not sure how well it's coming across. It's probably a little bit too far away. Looks great? Okay, cool, cool, cool. Put the little finger of your left hand on the letter A and drop your other fingers down on S, C, and F. Hey, remember when I asked you guys if it was okay? Ready to slap keys. Your average speed was 26 words per minute. I'm striking, dude. I'm a striker. The key positions are a little bit weird. This rocks, so this is very cool, right? That was master type. Copy with Old Faithful? That's a note written at the bottom of the label. Copy with Old Faithful. Copy 2 plus. Copy 2 plus 5.0. Locksmith 5.0. Locksmith 5.0. Dazzle Draw. I died as well. What a thrill. Brought to you by Dollar and Super Pirates Dan Patch for the Apple Bandit. Is this some fucking... Is this some wares, dude? Damn. This is some fucking utility ass shit right here. Wild. I'm not totally sure what's going on there, but that was something. Hey, Babby. Ooh, DOS 3.3 Master we have here. Nice. Master Diagnostics. Look at that. Wow. Motherboard ROM test. ROM sector verifies. Right? Isn't this amazing? It's just going through the sectors and making sure they're all good. You know, we can probably get something similar to the Zulu SCSI that we got for the Macintosh. We could probably get an SD card reader for this. Slap it in there. And just put shit tons of stuff on this. Another thing is, since this is just RCA out, I could probably run this through the RetroTink. Actually, I could probably hook it up to one of my fancy monitors, and we could do color. Everything verified. Analysis complete. How about 80 column card tests? Are you excited? It found the card. Look at it go. Boom. 80 columns, baby. Oh, look at it. It's swapping their like case and position. 0 errors. So this is checking the expansion card. I'll wrap up soon. This is cool, man. This is like future Mark, but past Mark. You know what I'm saying? Each of these says what it's going to do. That rocks. It's even saying, it's showing the commands to do these things. So cool, man. I don't know what this will do. This is the Apple parallel card test. Uh-oh. um... Okay. It's defective, y'all. Huh. Disk drive analysis. Oh, wow. Dude, this is memtest. Basically, right? I'm not going to run it, but that's basically memtest. Micro modem self-test. Monitor routines. I want to see some monitor routines, baby. Seems like it can. It's fucking just can do everything. Oh, wow. Fucking yoke alignment and shit? Wow. This is impressive as fuck. Oh, wow. Look at that. Huh. Dude, this is like the 240 test suite, the 240p test suite. I mean, that's over generous to say that. I mean, it may seem silly, but I'm honestly blown away by this. Isn't that cool? I don't know. These all look like green to me, buddy. PFS report. Pass on that one. A+, the #1 Apple II magazine. Thank you for your subscription to the #1 Apple II magazine. We're sure you'll find the games, utilities, and programs to be valuable additions to your software library. Wow, and it came with a whole thing. We got us a goddamn demo disc. Oh boy. Oh my god. Okay. Make bar graphs, you can make pie charts. States and capitals guessing game. And some sort of jigsaw puzzle game. It wants you to copy that to a blank disk. It doesn't have room to run it. Oh my god, so many instructions for a jigsaw puzzle. I think it had an error. Mind-boggling. We've got a bunch of unlabeled double density disks. Prodos. Some kind of startup for something. Apple works. Apple writer. Blank disk. Blank disk. Blank disk. Blank disk. Who knows? There could still be some gems in this mess. Oh, but it's a lot to go through. Ah. All right. Well, my friends, I must absolutely go, but this has rocked. Despite that we didn't get to do the Macintosh, we'll do that another night here. But how hot does it feel? What? This? Not really. The CRT's a little bit warm in the back, but generally it's fine. Nothing to it. The power supply on this ought to be replaced because it's 40 years old and a capacitor is going to blow, and this thing will spit out smoke. Other than that, I mean, probably some maintenance on the monitor by somebody who knows what they're doing would be good. But yeah, this has been fucking awesome, and I hope you guys enjoyed. And as always, I will be back tomorrow, so I will see you all next stream. Thanks for hanging.